Let me ask you something. If your car broke down tomorrow, not next month, tomorrow, do you have money ready to fix it right now? Not on a credit card, not borrowed from your parents. Actually, in a savings account sitting there waiting for exactly this moment. If the answer is, kind of, or even just silence, this video is for you. And honestly, even if you said yes, stick around because most people are getting this completely wrong. Today we're going to answer the question that sounds simple but is actually way more nuanced than anyone tells you. How much do you actually need in your emergency fund? Not the generic copy-paste answer you find on every random finance blog. The actual answer, which depends on your life, your job, and how much stress you want to carry around in your chest every single day. If that sounds useful, hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. Here's a stat that blew my mind when I first read it. 1 in 3 Americans has zero emergency savings. Zero. Nothing. And the median amount Americans have saved for emergencies? $500. That's it. Less than most people's monthly car payment. And here's the kicker. That number actually went down from $600 just a year ago. We're moving in the wrong direction. Meanwhile, I see people asking whether they should buy crypto or individual stocks without any financial cushion at all. It's like arguing about which fancy paint color to use when your house is on fire. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Without an emergency fund, you're always one bad day away from a financial disaster. Your car breaks down, boom. Credit card debt, medical bill shows up. Credit card debt, fridge dies, more credit card debt. And once you're in that spiral, it is incredibly hard to climb out. An emergency fund isn't just about having backup money. It's about having the psychological freedom to make clear-headed decisions when life punches you in the face. And life will punch you in the face, maybe not today, maybe not this year, but it will. That's just math. So before we talk about how much you need, let's make sure we're crystal clear on what an emergency fund is actually for. It is not for sales at your favorite store. It is not for a spontaneous trip to Vegas. It is not for Black Friday deals, even if that TV is 70% off. A real emergency is something unexpected, necessary, and urgent. Job loss, medical expense, major car repair, essential home repair. Got it? Good. Now let's talk about the number everyone wants. How much do you actually need? Okay, so every personal finance article on the internet will tell you the same thing. Save 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Done. Go home. And look, that's not wrong, but it's also about as useful as telling someone who's lost to go in the right direction. Great, thanks. Which direction? 3 to 6 months is a huge range. For someone earning $50,000 a year with $3,000 in monthly expenses, we're talking $9,000 to $18,000. That gap is almost $10,000. Telling someone to save somewhere between those two numbers without any guidance is not guidance. So here's what I want to do today. Give you an actual framework to figure out your number based on your specific situation. Because whether you need 3 months or 6 months or even more than that depends on a few key factors. And we're going to walk through every single one. Factor number 1. How stable is your income? If you have a government job, a union position, or any role where it would genuinely take an act of Congress to fire you, you're in good shape. 3 months is probably fine. But if you're a freelancer, a contractor, work in a volatile industry like tech or media, or your income changes every single month, you need more cushion. closer to 6 months or beyond. The question to ask yourself is, if I lost my income tomorrow, how long would it realistically take me to replace it? That's your baseline. Factor number 2. Do you have dependents? If it's just you and you're young and healthy, you have flexibility. You can recover faster from a financial hit because there's fewer people depending on you. But if you have a spouse, kids, aging parents, or anyone else counting on your paycheck, your emergency fund needs to protect them too. That changes the math significantly. Factor number 3. Do you have other financial safety nets? Some people have a partner with stable income. Some people have parents who could help in a true emergency. Some have credit available as a genuine last resort. None of these replace an emergency fund, but they do affect how much you need in your emergency fund. Less backup equals more emergency fund. Factor number 4, what are your fixed monthly expenses? Your emergency fund should be based on your essential monthly expenses, not your total spending. Rent, utilities, groceries, minimum debt payments, insurance, that's it. You can cut the subscriptions, you can skip the dining out. In a real emergency, you go lean. Your fund covers the non-negotiables. Factor number 5, how's your health? If you have ongoing medical conditions, medications that aren't cheap, or an insurance plan with a high deductible, build extra buffer for health emergencies. Medical bills are one of the top reasons people go into debt in America. Having that extra cushion specifically for health costs is not paranoia, it's math. All right. So how do we actually combine all these factors into a real number? Here's a simple mental model. Start with 3 months as your baseline, then add half a month for each major risk factor that applies to you. Freelance income, add half a month. Have kids, add half a month. High deductible health plan, add half a month. No financial safety net, add half a month. You could easily land at 5 or 6 months, which is exactly where many people need to be. But now you actually understand why, instead of just following generic advice. And honestly, for some high-risk situations, single-income household, volatile industry, no backup support, 8 months or more isn't crazy. It's smart. Okay, so now you know how much you need. The next question is, where do you actually put this money? And here's where a lot of people make a mistake. They either keep it too accessible or they invest it trying to grow it. Your emergency fund should not be in the stock market, full stop. I don't care if the market is up. Emergency fund money needs to be there when you need it. If a market crash happens right when you lose your job, which historically they do correlate, you don't want to be selling investments at a loss just to pay rent. So what's the right place? A high-yield savings account, HYSA. These are regular savings accounts that actually pay you a decent interest rate. As of recent rates, you can find HYSAs paying 4 to 5% annual interest. Your money grows, it stays liquid, and you can access it within 1 to 3 business days. Some popular options include Marcus by Goldman Sachs, Ally Bank, SoFi, and others. Rates change, so always check current rates before you open one. The key is it should not be in your everyday checking account where you'll accidentally spend it. Out of sight, slightly out of reach, but accessible when needed. Think of it like a fire extinguisher. You don't use it every day. You don't display it as a centerpiece. But when there's a fire, you are absolutely thrilled it's there. And one more thing, once it's fully funded, you don't need to keep dumping money into it. You maintain it. If you use some, you replenish it. That's it. All right, you know how much you need. You know where to put it. Now, the question everyone actually struggles with, how do you actually build it? Especially when you're living paycheck to paycheck, saving 3 to 6 months of expenses sounds about as achievable as climbing Everest in flip-flops. So here's the approach I recommend. Break it into 3 milestones and celebrate each one because progress matters. Milestone 1. Save your first $1,000. That's it, just $1,000. This alone covers most minor emergencies and gives you that initial safety net. $1,000 keeps you from touching a credit card when your car needs new tires. It's not everything, but it changes everything about how you handle small crises. Milestone 2, build to 1 full month of your essential expenses. This is where you start feeling real breathing room. Life gets a lot less stressful here. Milestone 3, hit your full target. Whether that's 3 months, 5 months, or 6 plus, depending on your framework from earlier. Now, practically speaking, how do you find the money? First, automate it. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking to your HYSA on every payday. Pay yourself first. Before the restaurants, before the subscriptions, before anything fun, the emergency fund gets its cut, even if it's just $50 a month to start. Second, find extra money. Tax refunds, emergency fund, birthday money, emergency fund, side hustle income, emergency fund, at least until you hit milestone 1. Third, temporarily reduce non-essential spending. I'm not saying live like a monk forever. I'm saying for 90 days, get a little aggressive about building that cushion. The faster you build it, the faster you can get back to normal spending and start actually investing for your future. The emergency fund is a sprint, not a marathon. And here's a motivating stat from Vanguard Research. People with at least $2,000 in emergency savings reported financial well-being scores 21% higher than those with nothing. Before we wrap up, let's hit the 3 most common mistakes people make with their emergency fund. Mistake 1. Investing your emergency fund trying to grow it. We covered this, but it bears repeating. Market goes down when you need the money most. Keep it boring. Keep it safe. Mistake 2. Dipping into it for non-emergencies. A flight deal is not an emergency. A couch sale is not an emergency. Your friend's bachelorette trip is definitely not an emergency. Mistake 3. Thinking you're done once it's funded and never touching it again. Life changes. Income changes. Expenses change. Revisit your emergency fund number once a year. If you get a raise, your expenses go up. Recalculate. If you have a baby, recalculate. If you change jobs or go freelance, definitely recalculate. Your emergency fund is a living part of your financial plan, not a one-time checkbox. Treat it that way. All right, let's bring it home. Emergency fund rule 1. You need one. Full stop. No exceptions. Rule 2. Your number is not everyone's number. Use the framework. Consider your income stability, dependence, health, and safety nets. Rule 3. Keep it boring. High-yield savings account, accessible but separate, not invested, not in checking. And Rule 4. Build it in milestones, 1,000 first, then 1 month. Then your full target. Celebrate every step. If this video helped you even a little bit, please like it. It helps more people find this content. Subscribe if you want more straightforward finance videos like this one. I'll see you in the next one.